Hello. It's Wednesday, the 26th of November, 2025. Welcome along to the channel, The Fifth Guardian. I'm your host, Tony Hunt, where today I'll be player of games. But as always, it's not my story. I'm afraid it's not your story. Today's story is all about competing in the BMW M Hybrid V8 Limited Series, and this is part two of a three-part mini series. Right, let's get the game on screen. Let's have some audio. A few people in the chat. Let's have a read. Ozil says, I didn't think you would come as there was no stream scheduled. Well, I apologise for that. It's been a bit of a mad day. Yeah, so I decided to schedule it late. But thank you anyway for keeping your eye out for me bringing this stream on. Very much appreciated. Ozil says, anyways, how are you doing, man? Hope you are doing well. I am actually. I'm okay, thank you very much. Another busy week. Another busy week. Lord Night Moon enters the chat and says hello. Hello back, sir. Welcome along. And Alson Mo enters the chat and says hello as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for saying hello in the chat. Welcome along. Right. What are we doing? Where are we? Okay. Right. So BMW M Hybrid V8 Limited Series currently sits at 42%. The hope is to take it up to 75%. You'll notice my M dollars has gone down a bit. I found a car to upgrade. So in the NASCAR season 2022, I had a car with zero upgrade. So I just thought, you know what, just to spend some M dollars, I'd apply some to the Ford Mustang GT. It does kind of seem pointless doing it, but I didn't like the idea of not earning M dollars, and I thought, well, if I can spend M dollars on an upgrade, at least it's not completely wasted. So that's what I've done. So hopefully now, I can take this series to 100%, earn the M dollars, get up to 5 million M dollars, which was my was my goal for the end of this update. But it does mean I'm putting on hold any racing with the Peugeot 9X8 hypercar for the moment. We'll just put that to one side. Ozil says, I'm getting this car tomorrow. By the way, also, I tried getting 40 gold today and I got it. I did it in 3 to 4 times a day. Finally reached 2k gold to reach 1500 tomorrow after getting the BMW. There you go, you see. Just takes a little bit of effort. Sometimes it's not worthwhile doing, but well done. Breaking it up is another way of doing it. Into sections. Right, let's get racing. So I've not done any racing today, so I do have 250,000 M dollars available to earn. But as before, as soon as I hit that limit, I'll be putting the game down. Right, let's get on. 42%. We'll start off with endurance. Now, endurance, what I'm going to do to kind of maximize completing the event while minimize my earnings in terms of M dollars because of how many I've got. As soon as I'm in first place, I am going to stop racing. I only need to get to 6.3 miles. My understanding how it works on endurance is you score per lap. So as soon as I've got my over 6.3 miles, I'll not be doing any more laps. That's the plan. That's the goal. Let's see if we can how we get on. Have we got a crazy turn? Yes, we have. Good. There we go. 1 lap done, into 7th place. Two miles on the scoreboard. And into 6th place. Okay. Coming up to 2 laps done. So I think I'm going to have to do at least 4 laps. Into 5th. As you can see, I probably could go a lot longer than 6.3 miles, but you know. Fourth. 5 miles on the scoreboard. So here we go, just about to start the 4th lap, and it will be the final lap for me. Here we go, 3rd, sorry, the 5th lap. Final lap as well. 2nd, 1st. There we go. So I'm not going to score any more than what I need to. Now you could argue I could go all the way to the end of this lap. It's not a great deal of point. Still got 40 seconds to go. We'll just stop the car there. Let it count down. And while it's counting down, we'll have a look at the chat. Alton Mo says, this car isn't good for beginners, right? I'm kind of a beginner. So, in fairness, in terms of grip, this is a good car. It's a nicely balanced car. The thing is, it is expensive even to win. So you will see the cost down below there in terms of gold and in terms of M dollars. So what I would probably suggest normally to beginners is, at first, try to accrue M dollars, R dollars, and gold just by playing the normal series. And then once you've got your money up, I'd say on the gold side up over 1,000, R dollars over a couple of million, same with M dollars, then you've got a little bit of leeway to start winning cars. Cars like this BMW are expensive. I think it's 1.5 million M dollars, and I'm talking in terms of upgrading to free across the board, and just under 500 gold. So it's not the cheapest of cars, but in terms of driving experience, these cars are good cars to get to grips with. Ozil says, oh, there we go. Right. Ozil says, rather than compete in this tournament to win the car, you could just buy it for 2.5 million M dollars. That is one possible way. One possible way of doing it. Also, Olsen replies, says, I'm worried about the gold upgrade. Yes, yes, yes. To begin with, as I said, I would focus on doing the road collection series at the beginning of road collection. So it's amateur, novice. In fact, I can't remember what they're called. Just work you through those series. those initial cars only cost $R. So it's on the road collection side. Amateur, Pro-Am, Pro. Just work you through yourself through those series. Though cars early on don't cost any gold. The upgrades typically don't cost any gold. So it's a good way of accruing gold. And then obviously on the motorsport side, some of the F1 series, especially the 2019 series, the cars only cost $M. You won't earn any gold, but what you will do is every race you'll earn fame points, and when you go up a fame level, you earn gold that way. So it's a good way to begin with to accrue gold, $M, and R. Masiaj Gamer says, hello, how are you? I am very well, thank you very much. I hope you are too. Thank you for watching. Thank you for saying hello in the chat. So, endurance first. On to the Cup in Tier 7. It's a minimum PR of 91.6. It's the long circuit at Porsche Test Track. Now the problem begins. It's a 4-lap race. So from now on in, we know that the number of laps will get longer. And the longer a Cup race is, the more $M you earn. And therefore, the closer you end up being to hitting that daily $M cap. But we'll give it a go. We'll see how we get on. Oh dear. I mean, that's not a great start, is it? Flipped around there. Right, I'm going to try and stay out of trouble now. I'm only in 14th place. Don't think it's a problem. Just trying to stay out of trouble. Work my way up through the field. Into 9th. They're playing silly buggers in these corners though. Here we go, into 7th. Slowly but surely, working my way through the field. Ooh, almost barged me off there. Wet off grass, find myself in 4th place. That's pretty good. That is 1 lap down, 4th place. 3 cars to overtake, 3 laps to go. We can take our time and hopefully be a little bit smoother on these overtakes. There we go. Slow. There we go, into 3rd. Perfect. Now I can spend the rest of the lap just catching up on 2nd. I've still got 2 laps to go after this, so that's all good. There we go, into 2nd. Gonna hold off behind him for the moment. Alright, can we push and overtake now? There we go, got him. There we go, into 1st, 3rd lap, 1 more lap to go after this. Should take my completion up to 46%. easily in the lead now. One more lap to go after this one. Oops, a daisy. Right, final lap. Let's just try and keep it clean. Do my best to stay on track. Okay. Okay, there we go. That is a win. First place. So far, so good. Olson Mo says, thanks for the info. You're welcome. Ozil says, how many series is this car in? Good question. It's in more than one. But you do need other cars to complete the series. Olson Mo answers the question for me. He says two. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. We'll take a look. We'll have a look now. Seems that that's the question being asked. I do need to service the car. I'm not going to service it just yet. And I am going to use M dollar instant servicing simply because I've got M dollars to spend. It's not a problem. 46%. Let's take a look then. So if we go to, in fact, and I know where the series are, but actually, we'll go into the garage. We'll go into motorsports. Straight away, it doesn't have an exclusive series. Now, it's showing free, but obviously you've got daily racing there. So it's actually in two. The LMDH 2023 season and the Battle for Le Mans. Now, the 2023 season has 3 cars in them. Now, I'm not sure, I can't remember if there are any particular tiers that only require the one car. So I guess there is a possibility of being able to take this series pretty far. So that's good. That's good. Oh, hang on. Let's go back into there. However, the second series it's in is a little bit more complicated. The Battle for Le Mans, because it does have some tiers that only have. There we go. Straight away. Tier 2 has the Eureka 07 LMP2. So you could find yourself limited about how far you can take that series. You do effectively, to take this series to 100%, you do need multiple cars. The positive side is each of these cars only cost M dollars, and you don't have to upgrade them particularly high. So, you know, is it worthwhile doing? It depends what your goal is. I always think winning a car, if you've got the money and it allows you to progress a series, is worthwhile doing. But that's because my goal is to try and get both the road collection and the motorsports collection up to 100% completion. Lisa Jube says hi, welcome along, thanks for watching, thanks for saying hello in the chat. Void on Cod M says, enter the cockpit. Thanks for watching. Thanks for, I guess, making a statement. I can show you the cockpit. It's not my preferred way of driving in this game, though. Ozil says, yeah, and those other cars are more expensive than this one and have exclusive series too, indeed. Ozil says, I guess this is the lowest car in its series. It is, but it's a beautiful car to drive. I really enjoy it. Ayaka enters the chat, says, hello, Mr. Tony. Hello back. Welcome along. Thanks for watching and saying hello in the chat. Good to see you again. Ozil says, gold too, not only M dollars. You can get max to max one across. Yeah, to fully upgrade them, you would need to spend gold. Yes. Right, so I'm at 46%. What I'm going to do is I'm going to service the car. Obviously, my period of 1 day free and instant servicing has run out, but I can do an instant service with M dollars. Never use gold, but I'm happy to use M dollars, especially as I've got a significant amount of M dollars already in the bank, so to speak. So this is hopefully to get up to 50%. I think I need to do speed snap and then speed record. So we'll start with speed snap at the Nürburgring. Let's see how we get on. I mean, in fairness, this is going to be so easy because just don't brake, just let it fly off. There you go. So that was easy. That one was easy. It's almost expecting you to have auto brakes on. So if you struggle to win that one and you have auto brakes on, just turn them off for that particular race. Okay, next up, so we're at 48%. We're going to do the speed record at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now, the fastest part of this track is at the end of the straight. So to make absolutely certain, although I don't think it'll matter because I'm not competing against human opponents, to make absolutely certain I get first, I'm going to start way back behind the start line. Which you are allowed to do. So why not? Okay, we'll turn around, and so we've got the whole straight to get to that first place. And this car will be quite grippy around this slow bend, so it's not going to slide. And there you go, I'm first already. So I probably, in fairness, didn't need to do that. But there you go, definitely got first. Just a case of getting around the lap now. Now I think one of you wanted to see inside the cockpit, so we'll put that on. This car does have a lovely cockpit with loads of gadgets. If only we could press any of them. There you go, look at that. I'm not a big fan of the cockpit view on a lot of these cars. I do find you lose the peripheral view that you would normally get if you were driving a car. So that's why I prefer driving with effectively from outside of the car. $7,800 earned, still plenty of M dollars to be earned, and we should be at 50% now. Alson Mo says that's usually how I start speed records. Well, you see, there you go. Very good. And there we go. 10 gold, 30,000 M dollars, 1,000 VP. That 30,000 does mean I've earned my the 29,500 M dollars that I spent on instantly servicing the car. Got another 40,000 there, which I'm not going to cash in. I can't help as well to think that I might have got to the big reward in this release. So let's have a look. 51%, 32,250. I do believe I've reached the grand prize. There we go. 100 gold. We'll take that. Boom. 2,686 gold. Let's carry on racing. Possibility of getting to 75%? Hopefully. Let's see how we get on. So the cup is Grand Prix circuit at Red Bull Ring. Minimum PR of 92.4. 4 laps. 4 laps. It does look like the minimum number of laps from now on in is 4 laps, which will equate to between 35,000 and 45,000 M dollars, depending on the circuit. So I'm going to go round the outside of this first corner, stay out of trouble if I can. Oh, we're doing well there. Up into 6, that's pretty good. Now these next 2 corners I always struggle with. I'm not a fan of these next 2 corners. It's 1 down, at least on this lap. And that's the second one down. Right, now I'll press. Again, ideally I'd like to be in 4th place by the end of this lap. The reason being is that means I've got 3 laps to do and 3 cars to overtake. Thank you very much for the subscription, very much appreciated. There we go, up into 3rd. So, three laps to go. 3rd place, only 2 cars to overtake, and I'm right on the tail of 2nd. I think I'm going to overtake him before I get to this horrible corner. I'm not a fan of this corner. I've actually lost that position back. Just not very good at that corner at all. Okay, got it back. Another corner I'm not a big fan of. I went on the inside there, that stopped him from overtaking me. Need to catch up first, get on his tail. There we go, in his slipstream. I'll get him on the corner out of the 3rd lap, hopefully. Let's get him here. There we go. Beautiful. Into 1st. 2 laps to go, including this one. Worst 2 corners on this circuit, in my humble opinion. I'm going to go to the inside again, just to... He's overtaking me on the outside. right. I suppose the question is, will we catch back markers? Oh, almost off track there. All right, final lap, first place by 300 yards. Not bad. Let's keep it going. Said worst two corners coming up now on the track. Not a fan of these. Over a 90-degree turn, that one. You could argue that one is as well. Just not a fan of those two corners. Nevertheless, that's the last time we need to worry about them. So it doesn't look as if I'm going to catch back markers, but well in the lead. 500 yards. Let's bring this home. There we go, victory. Blimey, Ozil's on one today. Let's read some of his chats then. Says sometimes when there is 180% R dollar bonus, I drive the absolute on Spa track for 6 laps. Okay. Asks to get 100 gold. Do you have to complete everything? Everything in the event in an update, or can you do it from doing most of the events? Well, that is a good question, to be fair. That is a very good question. I'm not going to rush and service the car. We'll just put that into opening up the next tier, because you never know. There might be an endurance. And I reckon I can do the endurance without servicing the car. So it is a very good question, because you'll see I've reached the grand prize at 32,250. Which, as you can see, there are more rewards after that. It's just the 100 gold is the big reward. Now, there's a possibility, some of you, if you're new to the game, it might not be offering you a reward. I think it offers you a car. Let me just have a look, see if I've got that information to hand. So you might not get 100 gold. You might get a car. Yes, so the grand prize is the Ford Shelby GT 500 2020. So if you don't own that car, that will be your reward. If you do own that car, then the alternative reward is 100 gold. Now, the question was, do you have to complete all of the events? And the answer to that is no, because as you can see here, I've still got the Track Day Nismo R33 yet to open and therefore be completed, and the Porsche 911 GT1 Strassen version limited series. So it's typically a case of, to get the grand prize, you have to do all of the weekly time trials up to a point, and compete in the time trial competitions if there's one or two. In this release there were one, and do 6 out of the available 8 events, and you'll hit that grand prize. Okay, back to racing. What else have we got? Also, Mo says, I only completed the McLaren LT series. It was surprisingly easy. Yes, I believe that's one that you can apparently do with either no upgrades or very few upgrades. So, yes, well done. Okay, I think that puts us up to date. Right, so 53% on to tier 9. Still plenty of M dollars to earn. I haven't serviced the car, but I reckon I can complete the endurance without servicing the car. Let's give it a go. 6.3. Hold back. I'll wait until it drops below 80 seconds, then I'll overtake to maximise the 10 seconds that you earn for every car passed. There we go. Already at 1 mile, only another 5 to go. Don't technically need to overtake this car because we're coming up to the finish line. We've got 2 miles, still got 80 seconds on the clock. Wee. Into 6th place. We'll hold off overtaking this car until I pass the start line again. There we go, 85 seconds on the clock. So at the moment it's looking pretty easy to get this endurance completed in 1st place without needing to service the car. That's 5th. Right, just 2 more miles to do. And into 4th at 5 miles. Oops, whoopsie, little shunt there. Just saying hello. All right, there we go again. Now, will I have to cross the finish line to get 1st place? Oh, there you go. No is the answer to that, so I'm going to go right up to the finish line. There we go. That should be enough to get 1st place. That's where I'm leaving it. And I'm doing that because if I was to cross the finish line, that would add M dollars. Now, under normal circumstances, I'd go ahead and do it. But it's the difference between potentially completing this limited series, that's a motorsports limited series, in 3 days as opposed to 4 days. So basically, the reason why I say that is you can only earn 250 M dollars a day. So my view is once you've hit that 250,000 daily limit, carry on with the game the next day when it gets reset. But the difference between completing it in 3 days and 4 days, I think, is once you've got 1st place in endurance, stop. There we go. 21,992 M dollars. It would have been what would it have been? Let's have a think. Probably 25, 26,000 if I'd crossed the finish line. Nevertheless, we're already halfway to our daily limit now. I guess I'm going to have to service the car now. So we'll do elimination first, service the car, go back out and apply an instant servicing, 29,500. Nevertheless, I'm still well above what I've earned so far today, almost 4.6 million. When we started the stream, it was only above 4.5. So we're looking good. We are looking good in terms of earnings. We are looking good to not win the car because we already own it, but win the gold. And we're looking good to complete this in 3 days. Look at that, already in first place. Yep, Sebring International Circuit is probably now my favourite track in this game. It's quite a challenging track, but I always find it quite rewarding. And I seem to be hitting those two corners about right in terms of the braking zone. So that's all right. Now we can push on. Beautiful. Wonderful. 4 cars left in the race. 400 yards ahead of second. Right, there we go. That is surely victory. There's only 2 of us left, and I'm 500 yards ahead of second. That's nice and easy. Boom. Ozil says, oh, hello. A few more chats. Ozil said, if it's an endurance, don't use the service. Do it with no service. That's efficient. You would do it easily. Exactly. At least in a limited series when you are racing against computer opponents. Remember, if it was a normal series and you are online, you end up racing against a human opponent, and as a result, the first place, as opposed to being around the 6.3 mark, ends up being at 12, 15, or even higher. So the idea of doing an endurance in any endurance when your car needs servicing only works in either A, limited series, or B, the normal series. You're doing it in an offline mode. Alson Mo says limited series are so boring because there's only one kind of car we're competing against. Well, I was trying to make it interesting. I was doing my best. God, everyone's a critic nowadays. Ozil says, maybe you're driving aggressive in your perspective, but I am going to test this car to the limit. I love pushing these grippy balanced cars to the limit. I will drive it as aggressive as I can, as you did with. Well, in fairness, I do tend to hold back a little. I always like keeping it smooth, being as fast as you can, but keeping it smooth. I mean, obviously, that's what I'd like to do. You put me with a car that's not as grippy, and we all know what happens. It's I go off track. John enters the chat, raises his big pink hand, says hello. Welcome along, John. Thanks for watching. Thanks for saying hello in the chat. Awesome Mo says, wish I had more free time. I'd play this game a lot. I'm paraphrasing what he said there. um, yeah, 1 or 2 hours. What I would suggest as a beginner is you don't have to play the game every day, but if you open the game every day, you get a daily reward, which does include bigger gold rewards towards the end of the month. Um, in terms of playing, just play what you can, but definitely just open the game on a daily basis just to collect that daily reward would be my advice there. And then Ozil offers some advice about how much time you need to play. I mean, like for example, today, all I'm going to do is take this, the daily $M allowance to 250,000, and that will be the only racing I will do today. So it will end up being an hour 15, might be a bit longer because, as always, I'm talking too much. Right, okay, so Tier 9, we're on to the Cup. It's the Bridge Grand Prix circuit at Silverstone. And oh, look, it's 5 laps with a minimum PR of 93.2. So I'm already thinking I won't get to 75%. But if I can get as close as possible to 75%, I'll be happy with that. Okay, let's get our foot down and let's get into... Oh, hello. Too much. Let's get into the top 10. Almost. There we go. Okay, we are in 7. Made that 6. Let's push. Right, I think from here, let's have a bit of fun. 1 car overtake per lap. So we've got 4 laps left. 4 cars to overtake. That's the car for this lap. Okay, still in 4th. Can't overtake this lap, that's the rule now. Made up rule, of course. so 3 laps to go, 3 cars to overtake. I best overtake this guy now then. There we go, got him. On the tail of second, again, can't overtake him until the start of the next lap. Nicely does it. All right, 2 laps to go. I'm going to overtake him now, I think. 2 cars to overtake. And the car for this lap, overtaken. First is pulling away though, so I need to get my foot down and catch him. There we go. First place caught. Can't overtake him till the last lap, so I'm just going to hold back. Hey. Okay, final lap. 1 car left to overtake. Push now. I think I've got him. There we go. Oh look, back markers. Oh, there we go. Whee! Right, final part of lap 5. 400 yards ahead of first as well. Second, sorry. That's awesome. Probably will need to service the car again though. Never mind. There we go. First place. Yeah. Olsen Mo says it's a good point. It's kind of sad that in every limited series you have to spend at least 1 gold upgrade to get to the minimum 25% completion. Yeah, 1 upgrade across the board only takes you to 24%. Good point. Asks, will there be a real Racing 4? Well, there's been a real Racing 3 for 12 years, so I don't think so. I don't think so. So Ozil says, I don't understand how you're wasting M dollars if you're doing it past the limit. I do 250k daily, so it doesn't matter, right? If I complete 100% today itself, because I will do 250 tomorrow and that's the max you can get. Yeah, so what I'm saying is once you've hit 250,000 M dollars, you don't earn any M dollars. So you've sort of got to be strategic on a motorsports event, a motorsports limited series. So the whole idea is how many M dollars would you normally earn through a limited series? And it's round about 750,000 to 1 million. And that's just in terms of competition. So if you decide to do it in one day, that's like losing 500,000 to 750,000 M dollars. So yeah. Now you could argue, but I'm servicing. True, true, and I'm paying 29,500 every time I service it. I still think I'm up. I still think I'm up. Right. So what are we at? We are at 60% and 183,167 M dollars. So I actually reckon I'm probably going to be close to the max after completing tier 10. So you know what? We might end up not doing it all tomorrow. But let's find out. So I do need to service the car. Instant service, 29,500. So if you work out that I've probably serviced the car 4 to 5 times, 29,500, that still means it's cheaper than doing it all in one go, in my humble opinion. Or rather, you earn overall more M dollars. And in fairness, I'm doing this on screen because it's quicker. If I was like not streaming, I probably would just use service now and then play videos to count the service back down to 0. So I'm only doing it because I'm streaming, and obviously you guys don't want to be watching me play videos to service the car. So hopefully that makes sense. Zozel says in response to will there be a real Racing 4? I hope not. Guardian will be devastated seeing that he spent 50% of his life on Earth. Oh, 50% of Ozil's life on Earth on this game. That's not quite true. And I wouldn't be devastated. I'd be quite happy. I'd welcome along a real Racing 4. But I definitely we're going to see it. I think they're walking away from it. We've seen the input the devs are doing now. And they'll just keep this going. Yeah, I mean, there was obviously we do have updates, but one of the updates that included a few updates ago was an improvement to the graphics, specifically the refresh count. So they are doing stuff in the background, albeit small stuff in the background, to improve the playability of the game. Right, okay. So let's do the head-to-head around Monza. One lap, as all head-to-heads should be. Step first. Okay, I'm in the lead. We'll stay there now. No cheating on this one. No cutting corners. Mostly. Unless I make an error, which is a possibility. Okay, we are 200 yards ahead of second. Make that 300. There we go. So, what do we reckon? Do we think this cup will be the last race for today because we'll hit the M dollar limit? We've got 54,000 M dollars to play with. So, the cup at tier 10 currently sitting at 64%. Minimum PR 94, 5 laps at Laguna Seca. You know what? There might be some M dollars left or available after this race to earn. So if I could get up to 70%, that'd be pretty good. I always like to be in 14th place. Not at this corner, but the corner after this. Oh, don't know where we are. We're 15th. That's almost spot on. There we go. 14. 13. 12. Push, push, push. 11. 10. You know, I never used to like this track, but with taking all the assists off, you do gain such a respect for this track, because it's a hard track. But if you pull off a lap, you feel like you've done something. There we go, into 7. Might even get 6. There we go. So, 4 laps to go, 5 cars to overtake. Oh dear, oh dear. There we go. There's an example of me not mastering the track. A little bit of an error there. I'm going around the outside. Is that working? Yes, there we go. Okay, there we go, into 4. I'll do the same strategy as with the other cup. We've got 3 cars to overtake and 3 laps left after this one, so it's 1 car per lap. Keeps it interesting, I hope. Go into 3rd. The car overtaken for this lap. I'm going to brake a bit earlier because I went flying off the previous lap. There we go. That's 3rd. 2 cars to overtake and 2 laps left after this one, although 1st is pulling away. I'm still not going to overtake 2nd. I'm going to risk it. I reckon we'll be alright. I could overtake him quite easily there, but again, I'm just going to hold back. Okay. 2 laps to go, 2 cars. Let's overtake 2nd now if we can. I reckon I can get him on the inside. There we go. Right, I've got the whole lap to spend just to catch up first. I don't need to overtake him, I just need to get on his tail. There we go, we're almost there. We are there. Oh look, back markers as well. This might be fun. Right, what's the bet in? First place cannot overtake the back marker. Oh, look at that. A little bit aggressive there. However, I'm in first. There we go. Let's get this back marker. There we go. That's it. That's first place. 5 laps done. Just one question remains. How much M dollars will that earn? John apparently says that the real racing the next version of real racing was cancelled. Tragic. There you go. Right, so we've got 15,000 M dollars to earn. So potential opportunity of doing a 1 or possibly 2 more races. Let's have a look. Speed record and autocross. And what tier are we on? We're on tier 11. What's the cup? Limebrock Park. Right, I think what I'm going to do autocross and speed record, get it up to 70%, and if there's a bit of M dollars left, I'll still call it there. I've got 30% then potentially to do tomorrow. It'll be touch and go if I complete that without hitting the M dollar limit, but we'll give it a go. Problem is, I do have to service the car again, which does mean spending another 29,500. But you'll see there, my M dollars, I've obviously earned quite a lot more than 150,000. In fact, I've earned 235,000. But I've still got 150,000 left. So I think I've done all right there. So doing it, as I said, doing it in one stint, I think you just lose out in terms of M dollars. Right, autocross. I don't think this is going to be worth a great deal. Probably 3,000 or 4,000 M dollars. "47 seconds. Oof. Oh dear. Always have trouble at that corner. Right, I do believe I'm up though. There we go. That was a relatively easy victory. There we go. We've got 240,000 dollars. So I reckon to finish on the speed record will be very close to the 250,000 dollar limit, and I think that's perfectly fine. So we'll finish off with speed record. It's the short track at the Porsche test track. I'm not going to service the car. We'll leave it in its current state, therefore not spending any more dollars, not that I would anyway. Although I suppose what I could do is service the car for free and let it just be ready, fully serviced for tomorrow's racing. Here we go. This is for first. There we go. That was pretty straightforward. Oh. That's it. So we got to 42% after part 1. We've got to 70% after part 2, which technically doesn't bode well for completing it because we've only gone up 28% today. If I've not done it by the end of tomorrow, we'll just merge Friday's stream into completing this and doing multiple races or multiple series. There we go. Just over $5,000. A total earned of 245,317. I know that the cup will be earning me so much more, so there's no point in doing it. And with the car being where it is, I probably won't even service it. So there we go, 71%. That's not too bad, actually. That's 29%, which is like, if we get 29% tomorrow, that will mean 100% completion. There we go. There we go. So we've still got 2 rewards to be had. We've got the 75% reward, which is 15 gold, and the 100% reward, which is 20 gold, as well as some VP rewards and some dollars. So happy with that. We'll call it a day there. That's part 2 completed, up to 71%. The final part will be tomorrow. Well, hopefully tomorrow. Right, okay. There we go. That's the end of racing for today. We've only been racing for 1 hour, 15 minutes. That's the problem when you've got a daily cap on the dollars of 250,000. You can complete it very quickly. And to be fair, an hour's worth of gaming is, that's not too bad. That's all right. I'll take that. So I'll continue this event tomorrow. Hopefully you've enjoyed the racing tonight. If you have, if you wouldn't mind giving the video a thumbs up or a like, and if you'd like to see more of this type of content, then please look to subscribe to the channel, The Fifth Guardian on YouTube, or follow the channel, The Fifth Guardian on Rumble. Thanks to those that have subscribed tonight. Very much appreciated. All it remains for me to say is whatever is left of your day, I hope it's a very good one. And I hope to see you all tomorrow for part 3. So until then, thank you and goodbye.